Yo, welcome to Crate 808 and a look at one of our biggest Patreon episodes to date. Who out here loves Ghostface Killah? Because we went in and did our top 36 Ghostface Killah songs. It became an over 3 hour long session. It's on our Patreon, patreon.com/crate808. Go check it. Here's a little sneak peek on what we did, and the highlights are unreal. So yes, if you're a ghost head or if you're a woo head generally, you shall enjoy this. Check it. Peace. So if we're going to kind of go on the same tip here, let's just suck the dick out of Ghostface lyrics on this track clean, because I'm going to go Maxine. This was top 5 for me for a long time. It was one of my favourite, just Ragu joint as well. But Maxine is fucking crazy.
Maxine is so crazy, bro.
I love that song.
What did Ray say about the Biggie Smalls album?
Chris Smalls. No.
Yes. He slipped on Clarence's Biggie Smalls album.
Yeah. Clarence's Biggie Smalls album. What? The culmination of the whole thing is this whole beatdown happened over $200 worth of shit. It's $200 worth of shit. It's not like, this ain't no massive heist. He got beat down by some kids with some grits and fucking thrown out the window for $200. And that's the fucking wildness of it. I love it.
He ends the song with, the little girl was happy. She picked her brother up. Quick picked the window up. Mooney overheard. And right before they threw him out, the brother said, word.
What? Yo, there's so many lines in this. I just pulled up the lyrics. Like, I'm dying as you guys are talking.
James jumped on the moon, poked him with a screwdriver, broke the TV. They were watching Knight Rider. I'm in.
Funny shit when bow-legged Kiki hopped on him, jumped on him, pigeon-toed Mookie poured lye on him.
What? There's too much. There's too much in those
how
lines.
It's got all of those humorous lines, but the beat has this like tension to it. It's not like it kind of reminds me of like the quote unquote blaxploitation albums, and like whenever they will make like a parody of those, it always seemed like mockery. But when you watch an actual good movie from the 70s, like there's humor to it, but there's like a serious undertone to it as well. And like that song really gets that, where it's got like both halves of it. It's got your action, it's got your comedy, but it's like, it's dark because this dude did get stabbed by a bunch of children over $200 worth of shit. Like that's like some Jerry Springer level dysfunction right there. But it kind of balances it out. And I love that. And at the end, when they're going all in together now with the chant, like just bringing it back, like it sets that album off perfectly, because you know you're in for some like widescreen cinematic shit from there on out.
Yeah. But and the playing, you said there about the film, he is playing the characters. What does he say? Something like, fuck you, you ain't our real daddy. And you're like,
yo, he does that a couple times. And like, he does that a couple times. Like in the beginning when he does it, when he says, oh shit, guess who arrived at the door? It's Mooney the supplier. Don't open the door. Bitch, open the door. Maxie, he gonna kill me. Chill, I got a friend cop. Girl, you don't know it's beef. What? Like, what is he doing, bro? Like, yo, man, shout out Ghostface for this joint, bro. He said 3 long kicks, the hinges flew off.
That is...
If I learned anything about Ghost, is that he really likes single moms, because he's got like a thread through his catalog of being around kids that aren't his kids, and he's clearly only there to bang the moms.
Yeah.
The most disturbing line is after he gets the grits thrown on him, he stepped and slipped in piss.
Yeah, slept to slip in piss.
Puddles of piss in the house.
The Hilton is top 10, but Raekwon on this, as well as Ghost, to bring out ironing a shirt halfway through a shootout is amazing.
It's the pinnacle of Ray and Ghost, man. Like, it's such a visual experience that you get on that record. He starts by saying, this nigga just bought 11 machine guns.
Not 10. Like, they threw one in.
11!
Like, he clearly went to buy 10 and they're like, yo, I'm going to give you one more.
He brought 11 machine guns, and he brought them to my crib. Glittered out, stout-faced tech, Ray up in the Hilton. Heard Nia Long was in the building.
Amazing.
Penthouse fashion ordered out room service. It looked buzzed because the waiter looked nervous. Lift off the lid, see 2 shiny 38s aimed at the kid. What I do? Duck. Ray up in the shower singing. Son don't know that it's real. Yo, the visual of that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like he's out in the lobby of the room and like, oh shit, niggas got guns at me. Ray's in the shower, having a good fucking time. He don't know what's going on. He says, Coming through looking, he said something on that's real. Coming looking like he about to peel something in a tight jam. Red down, matching like Santa.
Yeah.
If I could just reach my hammer. He bust 2 shots. I played mice. Ran to the spot where the sun was at. Quickly, he was blinded by the ice. And then this is the line. One of the great ghost lines of all time. That's when Ray ran out the back, towel on, soap on his arms, spin Duke around, fell on my lap. Yo, what the fuck happened? It was a setup to get wet up. Starks, you're bleeding. Nah, it's blood. Fuck my white leather up. What is happening, bro? What is happening? This is the craziest Ghostface verse ever, bro. He says Ray ran hysterically.
Hysterically. Hysterically, yeah. Oh, fucking brilliant.
Come on. Yo, he ran hysterically, slipped on soap, landed on his back with his gat. Now that's dope.
That shit was dope.
There's a whole subgenre of Ray and Ghost and also Biggie songs, which sound like they like have a secret identity and they're doing like absurd crime shit while still being rappers.
Yes,
like you get that on Life After Death, and you get this like on Bulletproof Wallets, where like they almost give you the impression they're like, no, we're musicians now.
But guess what?
but the crime that does pop off is like Hollywood level capers. Like this isn't regular shit. And I love that like mini arc of rap music that has that vibe.
Bruh, I love that. This is so out of control. When all this pandemonium, when Ray finally comes out, he tells them, just give me 2 minutes to iron my shirt.
Find my ices.
Find my ices. Like, I know we have like a war with a motherfucker with 11 guns, but I have to iron my shirt, bro. You're not gonna have me outside with my shirt all fucking wrinkled. But here's what's so crazy. Later in the verse, Ghostface says to Ray, fuck your socks. Like, we gotta go, bro. You don't even have time to put on your socks.
I love that Ray is still trying.
This is so crazy.
Ray is still trying to get ready.
He says it like 6 bars later. Like, yo, fuck your socks, bro.
Come on,
we got shit to do. Okay, so Run was the last great RZA beat, or one of the last great RZA beats. Yolanda's House is the last great Wu-Tang song, in my opinion.
Wow.
Like, and when I say, again, I mean great. Like, Yolanda's House is a great Wu-Tang record, right? So, like, this is elite level rapping, one. This is elite level storytelling. Like, this is God level storytelling for the group. The play off of each other is God level, right? Bro, the beat from Sean C and LV on there. Bruh, like, I've been on a quest to find the instrumental for like my whole life, like since then, because the beat's phenomenal. There's a synergy on that record that you get. When I say last great Wu-Tang record, that's one of the last Wu-Tang records that I feel like is a Wu-Tang record, like recorded or written in the same fashion as something on Iron Man. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like it didn't sound like anybody pro tooled in their verse. Meth, like the way that they all come in though, like give them, Ghost sets it off, but give the credit to like how this dude finishes and how this dude picks up the baton and runs with it. Yeah. Until the next dude got to pick up the baton and run with it. Man, Yolanda's House, man. That's a top 10 Ghostface song for me.
It makes me think at some point Ghost has come in, like jumped in on like a naked Method Man at some point, because it feels so natural. It feels like they're naturally like, oh, he did that, then he stubbed his toe, and then this happened. You're like, what?
And shout out to Raekwon saying, my bad. Shout out to Raekwon saying, I need my money, Meth. I feel like that was like legit because it had nothing to do with the rest of his verse.
I need my money.
Just came in, I need my money, man.
It's like the Killer tape all over again. It's like I need that. Yeah.
Maybe that's the money he still owes him for the Killer tape.
Maybe it is. Maybe.
But I was looking at like the lyrics on this one, and seeing Ray, Meth, and Ghost together, like that's always been like my biggest disappointment, that we never got an album with the three of them, because when the three of them work together, it's just amazing.
Well, we got the album. It just wasn't.
Wasn't the album.
It didn't feel like
a 3
The Wu Massacre album.
Massacre, yeah, where they had the comic strip and
yeah, but that was just those 3.
It's just those 3.
Yeah.
God damn it, man! I shouldn't.
Yeah, but
don't. You'll hurt yourself.
But don't.
Okay.
It'll ruin it. It's not.
Just listen to Yolanda's house and just stop
I'll
right
listen
there.
to that and Scary Hours and just on a loop.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. The dream in your head is completely not what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get that. So
the dream in your head, it's not that. I
It's not
promise. One of my favorite wu-tang tropes, which is, these guys it's chaos, man. Like sometimes you don't even know what you're gonna get. So like the comparison song for me for Strawberry is Projects off of Forever. Right?
Yes.
Because you get a crazy beat and then you get hard rhyming and then Ghostface not caring about that and he's gonna come in and rap about sex. And nobody's talking about sex. Right? So like the thing about Strawberry that's interesting is Killer Sin is just rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Killer Sin's just rapping. He's just like, yo, I'm the illest, da 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 da. And then like sex out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the same thing happened on Projects. Like Projects, it's even more striking to me because the way Ray and everybody's going in, and then it's suck my dick. You're like, yo, whoa, what happened right here? Like, where did this even come from, bro? Like, I wasn't even ready for that. So, but the chaos on Strawberry is bananas. Like, the beat's crazy. Killer Sin comes in. And, the Killer Sin features are few and far between. So you're really excited to get a Killer Sin verse. Sin murders. And then it's like, oh, RZA's on this? Oh, but he's not rapping? Oh, he's just at a door listening to somebody get his dick sucked? And then Ghost comes in, and then to your point, he's like about to like nut on the mic. Like it's out of control, bro. It's one of the crazy. It's chaos.
I'm not going to go into reciting his verse, but Ghost for me on Poisonous Darts is unreal. Just massacres that shit.
If you compare what he's doing rhyme-wise on that track to what he was doing on 36 Chambers, even in like those couple of years, you see him grow as an MC because I like 36 Chambers Ghost, but like the thing that always stuck out to me is he leaned in really heavy on that New York accent, like Ghostface. I can't do it. I'm not even going to try to do a New York accent. From there to Iron Man, you see him kind of like entering that transition that he fully shifts gears into on Wu Forever, where it's like that more abstracted style. He's putting in more words per bar. And it's really interesting to kind of see him in that in-between stage doing like that classic 36 Chamber style joint, but maybe a little bit more grown into his abilities as an MC. He's had more seasoning on the mic. He's done Cuban links and all that.
When he said the fortune teller tucked a sleeping gas umbrella, like when I first heard that, that's when I fell in love with Ghost as a rapper. Is that and like the 14-year-old Slum Computer Wizards line? Were like the two that grabbed my attention. When that record came out, I was like, I'm with Ghost forever.
I think there's like a couple Ghost eras. Ghost rapped one way on 36. He rapped a different way on Cuban Links. He rapped a different way on Iron Man. To me, those albums changed dramatically based on who he's kicking it with. And with that logic, I think Iron Man might be, in my opinion, Iron Man is like the true Ghostface album, where it's like the most authentic Ghostface, because by the time you get to Supreme, I mean, he's got the Superb influence all through that record. Then you go to Pre-Tony and he starts getting the Trife influence.
Probably one of my favorite Ray verses ever, Iron Maiden. I'm going Iron Maiden because anyone's talking about midgets stealing beers, anyone's talking about fucking mitten raps. What a mitten raps, brilliant. I love that. Just Ghost rhyming about Winnebagos, hitting White Label, left the Winnebago unstable. Just things like that. And fucking, he had a telephone watch, which is beyond its time. It's like, oh, that's like now. It's amazing. He's looking at the future.
I gotta shout out capping on his opening bars just because I'm looking over the lyrics now.
Yeah, he goes crazy on the opening lines. Well, yo, I gotta give you props on that. That's one of the ill opening lines of all time.
Yeah.
And it's to me like what really stands out is like when he says it, like deep meditation sound oriented, war the blizzard, rap paramedical the wizard. When he says it, that sounds insane. A couple of years later, someone might try to do that style and it would just come off as really nerdy. You had to have like the what they would later call swag. You have to have the style to pull that off, because if you don't pull it off, it's like fam, that's Dungeons and Dragons rap. That doesn't work. But it totally works.
Yeah. This is
the best version of Capadonna we ever got. Yeah, 96 Capadonna is
unreal.
He was a thing. Like, shit. Like, Cap was gonna kill everything, which is crazy because, man, like, a dude that started a verse with deep meditation, sound orientated for the blizzard, rap paramedical, the wizard. I cannot understand how he raps the way he raps today with a verse like this in his life. Like, that doesn't, like, I don't even understand the science of this. Like, every time he writes a verse, he's got to think back, like, man, remember when I wrote this crazy shit? Like,
yeah.
This shit's out of control.
Every evening he had a by myself meeting and thinking who's next. It's thinking who's the next to catch a beat. Fucking incredible.
Then he says, thinking who's going to be the next to catch a beat from my mental slugging bitch and try to touch the white warfare. I'm like, yo, he goes crazy. He goes
fucking crazy.
Brutalizes all competition.
Yeah. I've used sit back jollying a few times and it's never really stuck. But you know when like people are like moaning in the back of the car, just sit back jollying. Just sit back jollying, you're all right. And that, you know, the kid doesn't know what I'm talking about, but I'm like, sit back jollying.
That sounds like some UK shit though. I feel like y'all should really be saying jolly in the UK.
It feels like that to me as well. I'm gonna bring it back now more and more. But yeah, no, drug smallies, Polly, and that oh my god, the fact
he
that
said,
all
dance
three
hall general, party fanatic colonel.
What? What's that? Party fanatic colonel.
I do like that he took a step down in rank for the party fanatic part.
He did. I'm gonna be the colonel.
He enjoys partying, but only so much.
General level, but he was like, I'm taking a step down.
He enjoys partying, but only so much. Yeah. Oh, that's fucking great.
There's others that party better.
Midas, you mentioned Stapleton Sex, which is possibly one of the only songs I'm never going to revisit because it's so ridiculous.
I play it whatever new girlfriend I have. I just play it one time. Just like, this is the life I live. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
in case you were wondering what kind of motherfucker I am.
This is me.
Good to have that right up front, right out the gate.
Yeah, let's just get this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
right out the gate.
Set.
Daytona 500. Daytona 500 could be easily top 10. They're doing forever shit pissing out of turnpikes. Yeah, kind of a legacy has led from Daytona, from the video, the ridiculous naughtiness.
Hey, hold on. I may have had a fucking epiphany just now while you say this. Doing forever shit while pissing out the window on turnpikes. Could it have been a reference to working on Wu-Tang Forever early?
Doing forever shit. Yes.
Maybe they knew it was going to be called forever. Maybe it's not doing forever shit the way we thought. Maybe it's doing forever shit while pissing out the window on turnpikes.
Maybe. So what's this, 96?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And
you're probably working on it at that point.
Yeah. Fuck, you've blown my mind there a little bit. That's a gem.
I mean, I don't know this to be a fact, but I feel like that's a possibility.
I'm taking it now. I'm going to spread it everywhere on
I was just thinking, like, that used to be the type of shit, like when you go on a road trip with your parents and you're stuck in traffic on the turnpike and you got to piss, so like piss out the window. Like, so like going back to childhood, I was thinking forever shit on that. That's how I always read it. But then I like your reading of it too.
I always read this song as like, they're on a tour bus, like they were like touring at that point. And they were just messing with their mans and like, yo, I'm going to take a piss out the window.
On the turnpike.
Like they're drunk on the bus doing that kind of shit.
Whilst they're working on forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also on tour buses, the toilet always breaks about 2 weeks in.
Oh, stop.
And you can't use it anymore.
And when the whole woo's on there.
Yeah.
Shit.
My man Ray said knowledge in. I mean, I was sold right then.
Knowledge in, yes, absolutely.
Knowledge in. He turned knowledge into an action word.
Ray on this is fucking... Ray is unreal on that.
I had a number three, and the only reason it's not higher is because it wasn't like a really like a ghost song, like Alaska said. It's like a trio song. True. But I think it might be like one of his absolute best verses. Because I was looking at a couplet to quote here, like the arsonist who burned with his pen regardless, slaying all these earthlings and fake foreigners, which raises the question. Like, where does Ghost even put himself? Is he an alien? Is he one of the Earthlings? Because he's saying it so dismissively. Hiss the pyramid, experiment with high explosive. I slap box with Jesus. Lick shots at Joseph. I'm Iron Man. No die-cast metal. I'm steel alloy.
Yeah, that's the
identity
crazy line.
hidden inside. Secret tablet. Like, It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the verse is bananas.
The confidence to write those words and deliver it. You have to be like on another plane. You have to know that you're on another plane of existence.
Yo,
you're
so
not just there, you're aware of it.
What you're saying is ill because you got to understand, like, they all jockeying for position, right? Ray and Ghost and Prodigy and Nas and Big and Jay. Like, guys is jockeying for position, and these dudes is like, we so much flyer than y'all. Like, we just gonna say anything.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need it to be like so crystal clear that you catch every, like, we gonna dance, bro. Like, and that was a real big inspiration to me. Like, yeah, we gonna dance on joints, bro. Like, we not even trying to, well, yo, if you don't get it, that's cause you whack, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we doing ill shit over here.
Yeah.
But then when I heard Supreme Clientele and like tracks like Goes In, I was like, I have no idea what you're saying. But I never bought into this idea where people are like, oh, Ghost is saying gibberish or whatever. It's like, I get the emotion and you clearly mean everything you're saying. And I've got to like sit down and figure it out. And it's not like I could just, do it in a day. It came with multiple listens where to the point where like you hear the tracks now and you know what he's saying. It all had meaning. But at the time it was like, it was a puzzle and it unlocked a whole different way of listening to music. Like that, like another thing that would be like, that's like the first time I heard like an early Santana record with his guitar, like after I smoked weed. It's like there's before and after. Like I never thought of music that way before I heard it. I didn't know I could think of music that way.
That's beautiful, man.
Summertime, hole in the knives, put the big in half. One of the great Ghost story verses.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the lines in the song are bananas. He's like, the legendary Ghostini might be dead. Never. Impossible. Pull out black burners like tonsils. 2 galots hitting if we got to. Busting at you daily. Wall to wall hawking. Sucking your teeth because God chain talking. Like Ghostface this, Ghostface that. Ghost soul crack. Revelation.
Now it's revelation spoken through rap. Bro, he goes crazy on this. And it didn't make my list, but it didn't make my list because of the American version being the primary version.
Right, there isn't.
The Canadian version is out of control. And it's so out of control, in fact, that when he performs that song, he performs the Canadian version.
Oh.
I don't know if I've ever even heard the Canadian version.
Yeah, so the Canadian version's got the same beat as Ruthless Bastards on the Killer B album.
Is it true he wrote this at his friend Donnie's funeral? Like, Superb is
on
breaking
one
it
knee?
On one knee. Don't know if he did it on one knee.
Can you imagine being at some man's funeral and one guy's kneeling, writing beer, weed, guns, AIDS? Like, you're going to just avoid that guy like at the wake.
He said, but metaphors to keep me out the projects.
What's that like? I can't leave this song without the line. Hold me down, hand me my cake, dusty bake, activate. I love that. Fuck your corny debates. I'm like cake, or maybe like $10,000 rabbits. The kid walked through, switch up his accent. Now I'm in Paris.
Now I'm from Paris. Come on.
What? Fucking
this
brilliant.
Is why this dude is an all-time great, man.
Number 26. Let's go straight back to the comfort zone of Iron Man. And another Ragu joint, and 260. 260 for me is... it should be higher. Like, I love the way Midas is acting there, but your man Ray on that is a fucking fiend. Come here, Valerie, you know the god, he needs a salary. Put the pipe down, here's 2 tickets to the Coke Gallery.
It taps into that storytelling thing that we were talking about before, where he's like, I heard the same shit, money drive the burgundy whip. Keep a low fade, license plate, engraved paid. Heard the cats from New Jerusalem. Pretty Ricky did his thing, but he was using them. Like,
yeah.
You know, that sort of like level of Ghost just adding details that aren't necessary, but like flush out the story and make it more lived in.
260 is one of the songs that has like the most spins in my like music library.
Interesting.
Because every time I listen to 260, I listen to it like 40 times in a row.
Yeah.
It's a straight loop, right? Mm-hmm. It's a straight loop. Like there's nothing else going on there but the loop. But what makes it so ill is what made RZA so ill in that time was that RZA heard loops that you ain't hear. That's not that everybody knows that Al Green song. There ain't no Al Green song that nobody doesn't know. But RZA heard that loop. Like everybody else in the universe that heard that Al Green song did not hear that loop.
And the way on the record that 260 runs into Assassination Day.
Yes.
So it pulls the sting out of usual suspects.
Yes.
And then just like the way the beat comes in on Assassination Day, it's like
I know that movie is amazing. Like double canceled because of Bryan Singer and Kevin Spacey, but I love The Usual Suspects. It's like a classic.
Ice. Who talks about their ankles in this way? I don't know anyone. Anyone talking about their ankles being fly? Brilliant.
The line that sticks out for that joint for me is where the lady gets blinded by the ice, and my man says she thought those big Coke bottle jammies might protect her, but they didn't.
The lady's blinded. It's all your fault.
It's all your fault.
He sounds panicked. Yeah. Like this is something that happened, and he's got to have this conversation right now before his ice causes more havoc.
Yeah.
Innocent bystanders.
You can see the cartoon play it out, can't you? Like the ice is just going crazy. Like
you guys ever read the Brett we're just bringing up canceled directors now, but the Brett Ratner interview where he talked about making the Wu-Tang Forever video.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about how Steve Rifkin, like he's like calling Steve Rifkin in the car, like, yeah, I'm in the car with Ghost. And like Steve Rifkin hangs up on him. And then like later he calls him back, like, yo, you can't hang out with Ghostface.
Yeah.
He hears voices that tell him to kill.
Yeah.
And then like he was smoking dust at that point. They sent Ghost with the director to make quote, to make sure that there wasn't some devil shit going on in the video. And like Brett Ratner's like, no, I hung out with him all week. He was perfectly nice. And then it turns out like 6 months later, their dog goes in the backyard and he digs up a whole bucket of KFC that Ghost buried in the backyard.
Think about that.
What the shit?
Think about that story.
It's online. It was a complex thing. Look it up.
Yeah.
I gotta find that.
It's an incredible
I'm looking
story.
for that as we speak.
Yeah. Like, come on, let's not sleep on this Ghostface.
He had to go through like his shed, find a shovel,
bro,
work his way through the vegetables and plants to find a spot that was big enough to drop a bucket in.
Yeah. And
that was some dust activity.
I buried guinea pigs in my backyard. It's really hard to dig up a grave.
And you said earlier about like how the way he uses words where he's like, I had fly ankles, plus my bangles were star-studded out. Ice, cut it out. Every time you attend somewhere, you act terribly. And I always love terribly. And the way he puts that on there is just fun. Yeah, just
the all-time worst version of that is on the same album where Raekwon says, I'm coming back, never.
I got Book 50 at 28. Book 50 for me.
Interesting. I don't have Buck 50 on my list.
Yeah.
Maybe
it was just my crew, but that was it was like an honorable mention, Be Easy. No one talks about Be Easy, but Be Easy in my crew was huge. Before we go out, we're going to put a few tracks on. It's going to be Book 50 and Be Easy. And those were the guys together about to go out drinking, bang. And Book 50 for me is an all-time banger. But I also I love Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious backwards. Like, it's simple, and he talks about his
like photographic magic, funeral love.
And it's like photographic
even when we hug,
magic.
Don't make it a habit.
Yeah, come on. His back chiseled as well as his unique elbows.
Yeah,
that's
the new me.
That is the moment where I'm like, you got unique elbows? Yeah,
Nation in the 80s in front of Macy's. I start my own chapter. Like that line pops into my head like randomly. Like I'll be like brushing my teeth. Like that and Queen Elizabeth rubbing my leg. I know it's a different song, but like
those
lines live in my brain.
The crew record that we would go mob out to in that way that you were just saying for me was for us was Barrel Brothers. Tony Siegel, that joint where he goes, straight out the ghetto, I'm damn hood. I stack a dollar like a whole rack of canned goods.
That's brilliant.
Baggy jeans, no Timbs, ACG boots, living in the crack spot. My man said living in the crack spot. Living in the crack spot.
Theodore. I've got Theodore in here.
That's an interesting selection.
So, it could be seen as interesting. Maybe it's just base level what I love, which is xylophones, Midas. I love a xylophone. If you're going to drop a xylophone in a hip-hop song,
good.
I'm in. One of the bars is fucking brilliant, that they're bawling out in bingo halls, which is such a odd thing in the UK. Like, bingo halls are grannies. And he's talking about, it's just the imagery was amazing.
I'm a big Trife fan. I think like the Trife era, Ghostface, like the 718 record, like their collab records.
Stapleton to Somalia.
I love that era. I thought it was a great crew. Like,
to Somalia.
Like they obviously were never it didn't work out as big as Dipset, and I'm guessing that's because like Ghost isn't like the kind of managerial mind that Cameron was to like put on his voice and all that. But they kind of always reminded me of that era. They were my two favorite New York crews, like the mid 2000s over Soul Joints kind of era. I think
part of that problem, bro, is the fact that Ghost is too creative for his own good. Like that's the problem because the group was called Theodore Unit.
Yeah.
Like that was not ever gonna be popular.
You're right.
Theodore. It's a chipmunk. Like, it's a chipmunk. Yeah.
Right. Like Diplomats.
Yeah.
Theodore Unit. Yeah. Like that. I mean, and it's funny. Like I get why you would do that, but like that was never gonna be popular.
Yeah.
Like they was wearing shirts that said Theodore. Like that's hilarious, bro.
We got to talk about the watch. Now the watch, for everything, for all that energy I've just got from the Hilton, you could put in the watch. The watch is one of the most ridiculous. When have they even thought about this concept? Now, spoiler alert, Ice is higher than this in my list. Ice is just one of my favorite Ghostface songs ever. Despite the fact that it has been used on Cameron and shit like that, Ice is, for its brevity.
Ice is fire. I don't have Ice on my list. I didn't even think about Ice.
Ice is top 5 for me, bro. It's brevity. It doesn't need to do too much, and it does just enough. And he talks about fly ankles. We'll go into that. But the watch, man. Like, have people got this on their list? The watch.
I do. Just the outro alone, where it's like, you want to battle for ice? Watches like that whole. Yeah. Like that's the kind of music. Like you were talking about, like putting on music to charge yourself out before going out at night.
Yes.
That was mine.
You fake dudes eat kids' meals to me? We street referees, we rock jean jackets, slick shirts over turtlenecks. Come on, man. Come on.
Like many people flip that Barry White loop, and that's like the best one. Like easy.
You
like
no clearance.
To Kane and everyone else.
But that clearance, I don't know what happened on this. Because I know
Barry White is a motherfucker with clearance. It was like $10,000 like to just step in the room with him, apparently.
Bulletproof got completely fucked up.
Should be.
To say it's as good with the right records is an all-time classic. It's as good as Clientele to me with the right track listing.
I have my headcanon for Bulletproof Wallace. I put all the joints back in, and I don't listen to it without my joints back in.
Me too. The Sun. Oh, we're gonna go in. We're gonna go.
That was when I got a CD burner and the game changed.
That's right.
2001.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
As well, man. That was it. I put it the other way to my mates who's never heard the watch, and I was like, if you want a disgruntled masterpiece of it's so angry at itself, but you can really read other shit into it. 14. Featherhead Heathens, Teeth on the Mic Dicks. Yes, Cobra Clutch. I have got Cobra Clutch because that
Featherhead Heathens.
teething on Mic Dicks. Like think about that line. So there you go. If you enjoyed that, patreon.com/crate808. Help support the show. You will get 2 bonus episodes up in your grill every month, including a live show, and we will do more of our 3 album run episodes where they're much more heavily produced, a bit of a heavier lift. So anything we can get from the Patreon helps us fund make those. So enjoy the rest of your days,